Hi, Avani. Welcome to Soul Connect. It's a
Hi
pleasure to
Ravi,
have you.
thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you for inviting me.
so for people, I'd love to know you as someone who is a past life regression therapist, an EMDR facilitator. There are so many other facets and so many other things that you do, which, of course, during the course of this conversation will come forward. But how does it feel to be in this space? First off, it's a wonderful space. I believe you're operating or you're currently at a very different setting. Would you like to talk a little bit about where you're based at?
I'm in Almora right now. This is called Kasar Devi Almora.
Okay.
Yeah, the space is really very beautiful, and I do invite you and all your viewers to come by here and experience what the place has to offer.
Yeah, I think the energy out there must be beautiful. It must be a wonderful
Yes, yeah.
place.
And people have to stay here and experience it themselves, at least for a week when they stay here, be here for some time, and then they will realize that what is this energy, the supple energies, and that a friend of mine had called it, I would quote, it is the merger of heaven and earth.
Nice. So, I mean, if you had to kind of look back into the pages and go back in time, uh, I'd love for you to share your journey. Uh, where were you born, and what drew you to this, and what was your calling? If you just like to share a little bit about, your initial days, were you always into the space of, of healing and facilitation? If you could just share a little bit about your early journey.
Yeah. So I was born in Dehradun, and I was born in a joint family, and the environment in my home was already very spiritual. It was a comfort zone which I had. So I had so many people in my family who used to be spiritual, practicing spirituality, and many masters, like my dadis and my dadajis, their masters used to visit us, and it was quite a normal space to be in. And half of the people, I was child, maybe under the age of till the time I was 8, this kind of space we had in our home where half of the people had already always been discussing on spirituality. We had a lot of books in our home, and right across the oh, main street, there was a library. And half of the people, they used to get a lot of books from their library. So we had numerology books at our home. We had palmistry, everything. And as a lover of books since childhood, I used to read all of them. And I started learning all these modalities right from the beginning. So it was nothing which was outlandish for any of us, none of us in the family. And me and my sister, we also used to do dowsing. And these little kids who were doing this, and everybody used to believe us in the house, in the family. And it was
So, for
funny
those
now
who
when
don't know
I
what
look
dowsing
back.
is, so for those who don't know what dowsing is, can you just briefly explain what dowsing is?
Hmm. Dowsing can be done through a medium. It is like you take a medium, which can be a stick or a pendulum, and then you connect with it. It's an extension of your energy. You ask the questions, and it's going to answer you by moving in certain
Okay,
directions. And you guide it that this is how I'm going to take it as yes, and this is how I'm going to take it as no.
right.
And we used
Wonderful.
to do dowsing not with the metal sticks. We used to take jharu ki seek. So we used to call it Seek Baba. We were kids, and then
Yeah.
we used to ask questions, and we had guided it that whenever it goes inside it's going to be yes, and whenever it goes out we are going to take it as no. And we used to ask questions, and all of us together, elders also.
And it
That is the
actually,
kind of
it,
family.
it used to be, like, it used to give you your answers.
Everyone used to believe in it, and that's how my intuition never got blocked. In
Okay.
due course of time, when I was in school, even I remember in class 12, in physics lab, my physics teacher was asking me to do his palm reading, and everybody is listening. All the students are standing around, and I'm telling, sir, you're this and that, and he's laughing. And then in 5 minutes, I noticed that everybody, they're walking on me now. You look at my hand, go read my hand now in my palm, my palm. And I was like,
So
no,
did you
I'm not
threaten him that if
tired.
he fails you, something bad is going to happen
No,
to him?
it was really funny because I was revealing his secrets, and he was like,
Ah.
what's wrong in that? I was
So
innocent
you're a
that time.
natural. You're a born. You're born into this amazing family, and you have some amazing talents. God
Yeah, I'm
gifted.
glad. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm proud. Not gifted, but we all have, for many past lifetimes, we have worked on this. So it was quite natural. And when somebody says it's a gift, I say, no, we have worked hard for many lifetimes. Nothing comes as a gift to you. So many good singers, they have done sadhana for multiple lifetimes singing that very note.
and that's
And
an
that's how it
interesting
comes
point.
up.
I really like this perspective. What we kind of look around and say, this one is successful and that one is, suddenly become overnight. I think there's a lot of work that people don't see, maybe in this lifetime or beyond. So, yeah, I think that's a lovely perspective. You've gotten so much of hard work done by, yourself in your past lives, and
Mm.
you're just you've taken this form again to do more work and move forward, evolve. Wonderful.
Yeah, yeah.
So your early days were spent in Dehradun, and were you then based in Dehradun throughout, or was there a
And,
move?
yeah, when I did my graduation in Dehradun, and in Dehradun, where I was graduating, even then I was moving, because moving spiritually, and was also including my friends, those who were of my age. And while I was there in Dehradun, I had done a lot of groundwork earlier, like teaching students, teaching in slums, and I had that kind of circle also. So I had collected such youth and being their leader, and then taking them along. And I used to wear fancy clothes, had fancy hair, so they used to follow me, and they were kind of also following me to satsang. I had a picture in newspaper. I organized satsang in Doon School. It's a very famous school. And then I
So when you mean
for
when
my
you say
masters, I
satsang, what do you mean by satsang? Like, did you
so
have? Yeah, go on, please.
this was a musical satsang.
Okay.
Satsang is also what we both are doing right now,
Hmm.
but this was specifically musical satsang because it is what is attractive to people, and it was a Sufi satsang.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Then I moved to for my masters. I moved to Pantnagar, and there I started Art of Living, yes, plus youth empowerment and skills workshop classes there. And I had to fight a lot for that also because we had to go to VC, Vice Chancellor, and then and then he used to trash us. What do you do? This is not what your future is. And threatened by my advisor also that I'm not attending certain thing which he had organized for us, but I was organizing youth empowerment and skills workshop there. So I started that chapter for students over there. After 2 years, then I went to Noida for my career and stayed there for quite a long time, 7, 8 years.
So they kind of viewed all this exercise that you were doing, all the work that you were doing of empowering the youth, as and they were worried, how is this benefiting you? What about your education and things like that? But little did they know that was the kind of work that you were born for, and that seemed to be your life purpose.
I was also very good in studies, so they used to feel in the background, okay. They used to scold me, they had to bring that example that we don't like this, nobody should follow this, none of the students should follow this. But in their heart, they all were very proud of me. I could feel that because I was an empath. They were very proud of what I was doing. Maybe because they also wanted to do the same thing. They were seniors, and there must be in the professors, VCs, in the corner of their heart, they have a shadow that, okay, we were also like this when we were in college. We wanted to make a difference. So something gave that energy to me that they are very proud of me. And also, um, they used to threaten me also. If not, you're not going to come to this class, then I'm going to fail you. And then I was such a good poet, very innocent person, and such a good poet. I would create a poetry for them, but thanking poetry to them. They would be so impressed, and that really worked. And by the time of 6 months, I had a good team who were also supporting me, and we used to do Nukkar Nataks and all creative people. I admire all of them. They were all leaders. So I had heard during that time that a leader is one who creates leaders, not just who leads and everybody follows. So I created a lot of leaders over there, and they then carried forward the chapter. Even when I was not present, they were carrying the workout, creating new ideas, Nukkar Natak for most of the social awakening during that time when we were in college. And then after 2 years, even after I started working and went to Noida, they continued that chapter for quite a while, for many years.
Nice.
And
So,
I continued creating new chapter in Noida.
so a little bit more about life in Noida.
So Noida 2011, by the time I was 23, in 2011, I was already a spiritual teacher. Art of Living teachers training program I had done, and I was taking courses now for youths. And I started working for children first and kids. So I was teaching meditation to teenagers and children. So that's a lot of work because now you have to do everything alone. Now children won't be the followers; they cannot be the leaders initially because they are kids. So that was a lot of work. You had to hunt for the place where you can carry this out. We did not have a space. I was all by myself. So I had to hunt for a place, and then I had to request people that give you some space in your basement. Maybe I can give you a free meditation in exchange of that. And then going home to home, explaining people what is the meditation about, and how it can help their teenagers and their children. And then I did manage to pull out few courses over there by myself alone. And then again, we created, yeah, there was a movement called 1 Hour for Better India, where I was giving, again, I was going to slums for teaching. Then I was educating, technology, upgrading aged people whose children were staying abroad, helping them out how to communicate with their elders. So 1 hour used to give besides my office hours. So during that time, it was already 2012. So 2012 was a huge change in the atmosphere. There was a movement, spiritual movement. Some energy shift happened. So during 2012, already that illusionary layer started, they started melting down, and it happened that things started shifting inside. And I didn't have the answers to those because I could see dimensions in front of my eyes. And also some experiences which I was having, when I was vocal about them, then others used to look at me stupefied that, no, we are not getting these experiences. And that's the time when I was shocked that, am I different? Am I schizophrenic? Am I what? This, that? No. Because I was now discovering that things which were happening with me, they were not happening with everyone. Something is different. And then I started looking for answers for those. What is it? And just 23 years old, I don't even have words what to tell, how to say, why was the only question. What question mark? Why question mark? But nothing, no statement. So I had nobody to ask, and not even the question what to ask. So I was just following Swamiji's, Rishiji's, just following them. Maybe I'll get some bits and pieces of here and there which I can club together and make a sense for myself. And but I didn't get anything. So scriptures are what I moved towards, and they did help during that course of time. And then I moved inwards. I left going towards the crowd, moving the crowd, being the leader. I left all that, and then I started my inward journey. And this inward journey was for a long time, 4, 5 years it went. along. Then I left the group and clubs and did some chakra meditations, which a friend of mine had guided me. We did Vipassana, inward journey, and then my chakras opened. So there was a lot of riling which was happening in the inner layers, the subtle bodies of
So
ours.
you felt that there was something shifting around you. There was something shifting within, and the
Within.
seeker
Yeah.
within you. You wanted something deeper. You were looking for some deeper answers, and that's where you started
Yes.
exploring all these different ways and means, people, vipassana, and chakra meditation. It's a really interesting sort of initiation, so to say, into the kind of work that you're doing. But would you like to, before we move on, at what point in life did you feel that this is what I want to do, or this is what I want to pursue for the rest of my life?
Yeah. So I think 7 to 8 years, I might have been there working, in the outer world. And then 4, 5 years, I continued to working within my own self. And by that time, I must have been 27, 28, and I got married. After getting married, I thought, no, I'm just going to chill now. I'm just going to enjoy. So I'm not going to do any spiritual thing. I just want to date. I just want to travel and would want to enjoy it. So after 2, 3 months, I realized that the cycle which I was peddling since so many years, now it doesn't stop. It's moving on its own. So the actual healing started happening when I'm relaxing. When I left everything and I was relaxing, then the actual healing started. And suddenly, Kundalini awakening happened and it was spontaneous. And I'm not even aware about what is Kundalini awakening. I don't know. I just had an experience and it was blissful experience. I enjoyed it. But life turned upside down. There was so much emotional fears, shame, guilt, everything was popping out. And I don't know what is happening. Why am I behaving like this? And there was not no connection of these emotion with the environment or the situations outside. No, nothing. And I don't know what is happening. It's not making sense because nothing outside is changing, but everything inside is changing. And it went on for a month. And then I heard from a friend that there is a place in Gujarat where you can meditate for some time, just be a retreat. So I thought, okay, this is a silent retreat. You just be with your own self for some time. I should go and then figure out what do I want to do in life. That time I didn't have any idea if I'm going to be a healer. I just want to survive this emotional phase of mine. And
So there was a lot
I
of
didn't even
turbulence
know.
within. So there was a lot of
Yeah,
turbulence
career
within.
wise also.
Yeah.
Mhm. So for 2 months, I went to this place in Gujarat, and it's called Bodhi Asham. First time I was going alone to this place, and it's in a remote village. I don't speak Gujarat. They don't speak Hindi or English, anything. And in anyhow, I came to this remote village in Gujarat. It's in Porbandar, and it's a place of samadhi of two beings, Ba and Bapa, we call them. In this place, I arrived, was being maintained by Swamiji, a very noble person who is no more in his body now, but very noble person. He had been maintaining this space. It's what was a private farmhouse, and they gave me a cottage to stay there. I stayed there and I informed that I'm going to be in silence. I'm not going to speak. They were providing food and everything. It was for free.
We were talking about your journey, then moving on to Porbandar, where you felt the need to go into silence, and the fact that it was a place where possibly people didn't know English or Hindi that well, and you of course didn't know Gujarati. So if you'd like to explain or just give some more details about how, what was your journey there, when you were to find yourself even more deeper.
Yeah, yeah. So that was the first time I was visiting Gujarat and going to a remote place like this. So it's not a very big city. You go to Porbandar and then you go to Ranawat. And run above, there is a cave of Jamwant. That's also a very
Um,
nice place. And just I think 10 kilometers inside Ranavav, you go in deeper into the village areas, and the village is called Bodhi Asham. Bodhi village is called Bodhi, and this ashram where I was visiting, it was Bodhi Ashram. And then I was given reference. My reference was there already by a friend of mine, and they knew that I'm coming. So somebody whose name is Pooja is coming, and they were very excited because I was very young, and 8 to 10 ashramites were there, and sincere sadhaks. They were old people, and they were excited that somebody new has come, and they wanted to meet me. But I had declared that I'm going to be in silence, and they respected. All of them respected that. And within first week of my stay there in silence, of course, I was given the rules and regulations, just the timing, food timings were the rules, the only rule there to be followed. But there, they had given me a duty also to feed peacocks. I had to fill the pots of water for peacocks. That was my
wow.
only duty. Yeah.
Wonderful.
And just keeping my place clean. That was all I had to do. And then during first week of my stay there, I had started having communication with these two beings whose space was this. They were in Samadhi. We call them Ba and Bapa now. And so I felt that I'm connecting with Bapa, and Bapa had started speaking to me. I had started listening to things which others were not listening. So I had initially made a fuss of it. So initially I had, I started telling people I can hear this, that, there's so much noise, and there's always a sound going on, a music kind of a thing. And then they all smiled. Swamiji smiled, and then he came. I spoke this to a friend there, or I
So,
messaged.
to give some context, so you were about in silence for almost a week, and
Yeah,
that's where you connected with Ba and Baba, more with
yeah,
Baba. And they moved
correct.
on, or were they in Samadhi, in the physical realm?
No, they were not in physical realm. They were
Okay,
in samadhi only. Yeah, they were not. They had a temple where their
right.
statues were, and they were not in body. They was just energies.
So you were channeling. There was a lot of inflow, downloading of messages and communication happening.
No, yeah, yeah. Very free flow communication was happening, and I was not afraid of it. And I was listening to music, a celestial music. And then I told a friend through message that there is always a music going on here. What is it? So he said, I don't hear any music. There is no music.
So describe, when you say celestial music, what kind of music do you mean?
Okay, it used to be like the Sanjay Bhansali, Leela Bhansali's music, with
Yeah.
lot of orchestra. Yeah, a lot of orchestra. And then I started using earbuds. And when I started using earbuds, it was louder.
Oh, so you were trying
And
to
when
drown the voice and drown the music.
I thought it's a music because I was new to that place. I
Ah.
thought there must be an orchestra nearby and there must be animals nearby, but I was catching these things, and it was the first time when I was catching and using my extra sensory perception without having any inclination towards it myself, no intention. And I'm receiving this. I like the music, but I then realized that it's just happening to me. And even if I used to sit um, in a hall, I used to listen to the music which might have been played there. So then I realized that I'm communicating with the energy, the vibrations around.
Ah.
And then my mudras got activated. My hands, they started creating mudras on their own. And then whenever a thought were used to come as a question to me, the mudra would change. So I got that it's like an answer to something, my answers to the questions which are arising within me. And then I continued asking my questions and I started getting my answers. And I continued doing this for a while. And then I realized after some time, so this is how I started my auto writing, auto drawing. I asked them in writing that I want a notepad and a pen. So they gave me all the stationery material I had asked for. And Mamaji Swamiji, who was the owner, he was happy that something is happening with me. He kind of got to realize
That
that,
there was
yes,
some change,
she's
something,
he's receiving something.
visible.
Yes, it
Yeah.
might have. Mm. And he was really happy on his own, in his own world. I started drawing. Lot of automatic writing was happening, automatic drawing was happening, and I got my own modalities this time. It was a healing modality which had no name, and it's more like sacred geometries, creating your sacred geometries, and it was very powerful. So multiple patterns I drew on the paper, and then I started practicing, and then I this is how I received a lot of modalities. I was also reading during this time, not that I was not reading because I was in silence. I was reading in my mobile phone. So I just came across an article about Kundalini awakening. And that's how I realized that what had recently happened to me, pushing me towards the space, was actually a spontaneous Kundalini awakening, which might have happened because spiritual masters might have been around and they were pushing me into something. And it was spontaneous. After 2 months got over, at the end of the 2 months, I thought let's build some rapport with people over there because they might not want me to come back otherwise. So I
So
made
just
friends
sorry to
with,
stop you here. So would it be safe to say that your deep-rooted intention to kind of, seek deeper or find answers or, kind of look at what is there beyond. And there was this restlessness in society. So while you lived within the world, you didn't kind of feel connected, but there was something pushing you to, the intention was to find answers, find something deeper, and that's where, as you rightly said, possibly the masters or guides pushed you, and they gave you that sort of an impetus to go in silence. We all know nothing is a coincidence, nothing random really happens. So you came across
no,
this
it
place.
really feels that it was planned. It really
Yeah.
feels because when I told you uh, that what changed, so, and I told you that I had given up everything, that was a time when I knew that there is no going back. Right after my marriage, 3 months, and then I was enjoying, having fun, no routine, nothing, given up all my past life spiritually, which where I was, whatever I was doing. And that was a time which told me very, very loudly and clearly, not the time, something in my head said very loud and clear that there is no going back. You can only go ahead now. Because the cycle which you had been pedaling since such a long time, now it's running on its own. There's no going back. You just
Yeah, so
go
once
ahead.
you're on the path, you're on the path. There's no going off it.
Yeah. And you have pedaled enough now. Not just
Yeah,
initiator.
yeah.
And then I could feel the presence of spiritual guides. Didn't know they are spirit guides or what, I don't know. But I could feel that they were planning for me. They were pushing me like a cattle. Like I could just feel myself as a cattle, and they were pushing me. Come on, get along now. Now it's the time. And so here in Bodhi Ashram, yeah, I can say that it gave me a lot of conviction, brought a lot of conviction and answers to my questions. Even those problems which I told you in 2012, that I could see the dimensions which shifted something inside, not in a pleasant way, but unpleasant way. I started doubting myself. And here in Bodhi, when I used to ask questions to Bapa, and he used to show me. He actually used to show me. I used to ask questions, he used to show me, even dimensions. And that kind of power masters have. They can answer you if they can answer you in so many ways. And
Yeah, you were kind
very
of ready
important,
to receive those answers. Your journey had prepared you, and when the student is ready, the master appears, the teacher appears, and I think you had worked so much towards it. Your intention, I think,
yeah,
we we don't really give that much of uh, recognition to how deep rooted our intention is for change in our lives.
Hmm.
You had been working so much, maybe unconsciously, subconsciously, you were very fixated on creating this change, or walking on the path. So the intention was so deep rooted that automatically you were kind of drawn to it, and things just unfolded for you. Would you say that that
Correct.
was true?
Yes, and I would also like to add the fear factor was not there. So you were mature enough not to be afraid of receiving something which is not known. So they were also comfortable sharing with you because they knew she's not going to be afraid. They don't want to make you uncomfortable or give you any unpleasant experience. So I've had faith in that space. I was fearless during that time, especially because I felt that nothing can happen to me in this space. I'm being
So you
taken care
felt
of.
protected and guided, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yes.
uh, how did past life regression kind of happen? I mean, how did you hear of it? Tell us more about what is your journey with it? What do you think about it? How does it help?
Yeah. So past life session I had already taken when I was 24, 23. I had taken with someone, but it was not helpful at all. I just went, not because I wanted to do it, but because teachers, somebody who was taking it, he wanted me to join. So I joined and I was open for the session. I wasn't closed, but it wasn't effective for me that time. And then what happened during this uh, Gujarat event, I had started seeing everything and the realms had started opening. Telepathy had started, automatic writing had started. I had already started getting the visuals of my past life and some of the events and my interaction with masters had already started. So when I came back, I was very happy this after returning. And also, yes, my bhakti also awakened. I was taken as a student by now Ba. Initially, Bapa was there, masculine energy, and then Ba took over me, and I was now inclining towards bhakti more in a feminine version. And then I came back, I was really happy. And then I knew something is called Kundalini. And the first thing is I got some clue from somebody, some Kundalini Reiki kind of thing is there. And then I went to meet this person. From this person, Kundalini Reiki related, discussion. We parked it aside and we were discussing about Guru Dev. What is Guru energy? And this person, he's nice. I would like to connect with them after the session. So it has been a long time. So I learned about Kundalini Reiki from him. And then after some time, I got a deja vu that I'm learning about past life regression from Tripti ma'am. And it came like a deja vu. And then somewhere I read that that she's the best in India. Somebody had answered in Quora. I used to read in Quora a lot. And I got drawn towards this. I had started taking personal sessions of people during this time because people knew me as life coach. So my students from earlier time they had started connecting. Earlier, I used to take courses in group sessions, but some of them also stayed connected with me, and I didn't abandon them. When if they reached out to me, then I used to speak to them, take personal sessions whenever they wanted. So Tripti Ma, she had posted, I think, in her website that in Rishikesh there is training, and I thought it's going to be an experiential training, not like we are going to become the therapist. I didn't know that. I talked to her assistant and I told her that if there are more than 10 people, then I'm not joining. I just want to just experience. And she said, no, no, there are not going to be more than 10 students. I said, okay, that's good. Then I can have good time with the teacher. And then I joined because it was in Rishikesh. That was the only reason I joined because it was near Dehradun, so a comfortable place. I was not interested in going anywhere too far. The Rishikesh. So again, this entire experience was life changing once again when we were practicing on each other. And I saw a lifetime of myself as a river. And when purpose takes you into the past life, I said I'm draining. And then the therapist corrects me, "Oh, are you drowning?" And I was like, "No, it's not drowning, it's draining. I'm flowing, I'm draining." And they couldn't make out that it can be a river. Even I couldn't make out. That must have been their first experience as a therapist also. And then after that experience, something again opened. Because Triptima always says when you touch a lifetime of element, then again something shifts. So there are so many conditionings which melt down and they drain out from your body again. So that's how
Very
I
symbolic.
became past life
Yes,
regression.
very
Yeah.
symbolic. So something was shown to you, and possibly something that had it created a shift in. There was something that had to leave your life, and I think river and the movement and the flow, all of that kind of matched your current need at that time, which is what
Yeah,
past life
so
regression is
interesting.
so much about. I mean, more than just the name, it's about the
Mm.
outcome and what is, as people, we're so used to processing things in the form of a visual or something that we hear or feel. I think that's how the messages are sent to us, in the form of a story or a feeling, very strong feeling. But what's important is, I think you've rightly pointed out, is what is the outcome? I mean, what is it? It shifts something within. If there's something blocked, it helps you flow. So it could be symbolic. It could be something you really feel. It gives you an insight. So yeah, I mean, a wonderful, wonderful explanation and wonderful session you must have had there.
So well put up. Yeah, I had not thought it that way. Very interesting. Yeah, very interesting. I'm going to note it down for myself, and someday I'm going to write your words. So every time, Ravi, you say something which I want to, keep with me and carry forward with me, a quote or something every time. So yeah.
Yes,
And
thank
after
you.
PLR, I started taking one-to-one sessions, and the very first session which I took, it came out to be an extraterrestrial life right away. And Tripti Ma had not discussed about this, that this can come up in your session. It was nice. I had started attracting a lot of extraterrestrial people with extraterrestrial lifetimes after that. Now the number is in two digits. I have stopped counting.
So when you say extraterrestrial, what do you mean? I mean, is it a lifetime not on Earth? Is it a lifetime? What typically happens during one of these sessions?
Hmm. So people have given this name extraterrestrial to the beings who have lived outside. Um, Extraterrestrial beings whom we call aliens,
Hmm.
though, but spiritual community they don't call them aliens. They call them extraterrestrials. That means which are outside Earth. And the lifetime where they discover that they have had an extraterrestrial lifetime, these people are spiritually now called star seeds. Some of them are called rainbow. And our Eastern philosophy, they don't give any terminology to them because this was very common. And there might be other terminologies in our scriptures like Gandharvas, Yakshas, Kinnaras, like that.
Interesting.
But star seeds are terminologies which have been given by Western world.
So I think there is an author, Dolores Cannon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of work of hers that goes. That there's a lot of books that she's published where she talks about.
Mm.
I don't know if she's channeled, or has she is she a past life
Yeah,
regression therapist
Dolores
herself?
Cannon. Yeah, Dolores, one of the names, Dolores Cannon, one of the name is of the entity which she channels.
Oh, okay. I didn't
Yeah.
know that. Yeah. Okay, interesting. Yeah.
So they club the names, the channeler And the channeler name and the entity's name, they club together. Like there is Cryon Lee, I think Abraham Hicks also, one of the names of the entity. If I'm correct, we can find out that out after the session.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good idea.
It's
And
nice to give the credit to the entity as
yeah,
well when you're channeling.
right. And so, is there any particular one session that stands out which gave a lot of information, which insights, ideas of, or to help that kind of align with your client or help them figure out where they were stuck in life, because that at the end of the day, that's what it is. When we do a session, it's more to do with where you are, if there's something stuck, and how can you
Mhm.
gain insight to move on.
All of them, Ravi, all the sessions, whenever you do a past life regression, this is for everyone. Every client of mine, right after the session, when I take their feedback, if they're doing well the next day, they always feel something has shifted for them, and now they know where they're going, why they are going. They know the reasons of so many things which has happened in their life, or their likings, their dislikings. And something opens, some dimension opens for them, something as if some solidified thing has melted, and now their vision is, they can take a path, a direction now, maybe every time. So if
When you
I
say
can
something
take
stuck
anyone.
within, some energy that was stuck or some block has been lifted or has been broken, and they're able to then, view things differently, or kind of, move on with that much more. I mean, when it's like a flow again. When there's something stuck within breaks, we
Yeah.
allow fresh energy to come, and fresh thoughts, fresh perspectives, and insights to come through. Yeah,
Mm,
that's a really interesting point that you made.
yes. So it's just like a past life regression is like here in this life, in a situation, we are part of that situation. And then when we go into a past life, we start viewing this entire picture from above as if we are now a drone. And then now we can see a global view of what was behind, what is further, what was in left and right. And sometimes we also happen to take to the person's one or two previous lifetimes where the cycle was there or the pattern is recognized. Oh, this is a pattern. This has been happening with me since multiple lifetime. What is the reason for this? So the guidance then comes up. We don't leave a person right after the person sees a past life. We also get the lessons. We also extract the guidance. Sorry for the background noise.
That's
And we also extract a lot of guidance and allow the person to answer all of them by themselves in the trance state. And there is a highest form of the person also which speaks during that time. Sometimes the person says that it is their spirit guide, or sometimes the person says it is their deity, God, or ancestor, but they get a lot of guidance on what they are clinging to, what it needed to be let gone, what is the pattern, what do they want you to do now, to forgive or to stand on their own feet. And thereafter, it takes some time. It doesn't happen overnight, then that you start adapting these things. It takes time for the person to accept that this is what am I supposed to do. And then they continue to remind themselves after 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe a month, they might, start having those changes happening in their situations, in their personality.
So I
So it
love
is you
this
who is
perspective.
changing.
Yeah, I love this perspective. So it's like we're in an associated state all the time as we're living. We are associated with this body, associated with the feelings and the emotions. So typically, what with your work, what you do is, I mean, it kind of becomes like the person is viewing things from above and looking at their timeline. So not only this lifetime, possibly, maybe it has happened in the past as well. And patterns, as you said, are so important, because I think lessons that we have to learn, if we don't learn them at that time, that pattern, although they keep coming up, and until we don't learn those lessons, we don't mend our ways, we don't, you know, uh, sort of adapt and change to a better life state. I think that's what you're saying, and that's really interesting. That's a really interesting perspective. And and how long have you been practicing past life regression for?
7, 8 years, because before I was doing my training, I had done my training with Ma. Before that, I had got myself trained under someone else as well. So I had been practicing past life regression one-on-one with people for about 6, 7 years, and I have also taken group sessions.
Nice. And what else? I mean, the other thing that we spoke about was EMDR. So,
Yeah.
would you like to just, kind of explain what EMDR is and how was your journey? What kind of drew you to EMDR?
Mhm. So EMDR, the full form is eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. It's a modality which I prefer more over past life regression therapy because it has a wide, area of working. We can work on trauma and any trauma which was way back in your childhood or complex trauma as well. And it has also worked for my teenagers who have reached out to me for their examination preparation or any negative belief they might be carrying. So, in simple words, it is eye movement desensitization. So, eye movement is one therapy which has been included. Your eyes are used as bringing you into a trance state or a state where you can be in present, and then the memory is desensitized, means you distort the submodalities which are connected with the emotion or the belief. In simple words, this is the NMP terminology. In simple words, submodalities are the tanmatras, your smell, your visions. So these are all as a package, as a memory, they are stored. And when we go, desensitization is we go back into that memory where the incident is, the primary memory, and then we distort this complex which is created.
Okay.
Once it is distorted, we reprocess it with something which is entirely positive for you.
Right.
And the person selects what is positive for them.
Right.
We don't select for them.
Correct.
And then we add to it, and then we again bring the person with the eye movement, we bring that
Interesting.
person into their current life. So by the end of the entire session, a belief which says, I am ugly, can become, I am beautiful.
Nice. And how long does this typically take, one session of EMDR?
It can take, I take 2 hours minimum. Some of them, some therapists, they can take lesser than 2 hours, but I take entire 2 hours span time. Sometimes even more than that.
So that would include understanding, where their kind of, their root issue lies, working with them and putting, using the methodology to go back and do the reprogramming, so to say. That's really interesting, and I think the shift that this can create for someone is really powerful. I mean,
Mm,
just this one simple statement that, it can break so many limiting beliefs, about oneself. So, is there anything, any one particular case or more, a couple of cases that you'd like to share, which is could, people could relate to? I think the most common belief, with regards to relationships or something for finance, or
mm.
just the way they feel about themselves. Anything that you may have worked with and you'd like to share?
Yeah, because EMDR sessions are which I prefer more to take for people rather than past life regression. Past life regression, I never decide for people. Either people decide or the session decides. I don't decide. EMDR, I do decide when I'm speaking to a person, I'm taking the history, and if a person speaks more about their emotions, then I might take emotional freedom technique. If the person has spoken up subconsciously a lot about their negative cognitions, maybe I have done something wrong, if they say that. So I've jotted down and then I circle all of them. And then I asked them, after they have finished speaking, I asked them that you said that maybe I have done something wrong or this and that, so many lists. So do you really believe in them? How would you rate them? And any one of them they might pick. And then I would ask them to go for and we are going for EMDR session, and we will change. What would you like to rather believe than believing I did something wrong? So maybe the person said, "Mm, I did my best, whatever I could do. Okay, let's start with this." Then we start with that session. So there was an interesting case where a person had a habit of quitting everything he started in office, in college, every time he had this habit of quitting even before giving the final examination, going through it. So we went back. We also do timeline therapy in between EMDR. We take the person back into their primary memory. So this person, his primary memory was when the person was born. So he was born right when he was in 7 months. He was 7 months old, and he was in incubator.
Okay.
And even in EMDR, you keep your eyes open. You continue to speak, and you keep your eyes open. We have not taken you into hypnosis.
Okay.
And then two person can clearly tell you that I'm in a glass bed, I'm covered, I'm an incubator. And then my aunt is saying that this guy is not going to make,
Survive. Wow.
yeah, not survive, and he's very weak. And again, loudly she was reiterating that he's not going to make it.
So that's like
He's very
literally
weak.
accessing information, buried deep down within his subconscious.
Yes,
There is his
yes,
subconscious is there. He is a conscious human. So the information is there. It's just buried really deep, and that
yeah,
was that his behavioral pattern kind of defined that
yes.
those sentences that were again and again, again
So
and again told. Oh man, that's so powerful, and it must have been really what an eye opener for the man. I really feel for him. How was he? I mean, how did this kind of affect him? And
after the session, he said, "This is my best session." But he said that again, and after a few other sessions also, he said that this is my best session. I think it really worked for him. He continued, finished his college, finished his work projects in whatever project he had taken. So he was working, then again he enrolled for a college, and that's how he had this habit of quitting. He didn't know that he has this habit of quitting. While taking the history, that's the pattern which emerged in front of me, and then it intuitively came to me that this is what I need to work upon,
so
so that he
subconsciously,
finished.
somewhere, he was just replaying a program which was that you're not going to make it. It's not going to happen.
Yes,
You
yes.
won't see through this. This term is not going to happen. You're not going to survive. So didn't make sense even attempting
And
to kind of fighting or go through with it.
interestingly, he did not come with an issue that
Uh-huh.
I quit. He came with an issue that I'm interested in something else.
Acha.
Something else is now appeasing me. Now I
Okay.
want to go abroad and learn this somewhere else. So I took a lot of history to find this out, that this is a continuous pattern. He's like finding excuses to quit something. So every time he has to cross the finishing line, every time that situation comes, he's trying to find an escape route.
That's just so important that you mentioned this. I think in some, maybe I'm not a great judge at what people do generally, but in some cases, people will very conveniently call this ADHD, and the label comes that, it's just going through so many things. Yeah. And they don't even know that the root cause of this lies somewhere else. So this is such an important case that you shared. Thank you for sharing this, because it's all about going to the root. Everything lies at the root. And I think once we kind of go back to the root, and he understands, or the person understands, where was this negative or unresourceful programming kind of set, and once they are able to break it or to reprogram it into something that is more beneficial or resourceful for them, it causes a huge shift. So,
Yeah.
how is he today? I mean, has life worked out for him? Is he in touch with you? Do your clients, are
Oh,
your clients in touch with you?
his parents were very happy. They often send me a voice message that their life has transformed. But unfortunately, people who have taken therapy sessions, they don't share their experience that they have managed this out by taking their therapies. And the same pattern repeats with his cousins as well. It is in the family, similar patterns, but they wouldn't share because people try to keep it under the cover that they are visiting a
Yeah,
therapist.
I think that's something which we all see and face. Maybe it's opening up. People are more open to the idea of doing these modalities and not being called, that not being called names or not being considered that this is, oh, it's a taboo and what are you doing? I think it's time that people realized that mental health care is just that. It's just taking care of your mental health. There is nothing, there doesn't have to be anything wrong with you. It's just possibly certain patterns or certain lessons, certain things that we go through in life, and we just need to revisit and see if we can, unknot that or, work with it to create a better pattern or a better, for want of a better word, how should I put it? Something more resourceful, for their lives to do.
Yeah.
So, how does one become a better version of themselves, more peaceful, more happy?
Hmm.
I think, yeah, the taboo or the negativity surrounding this needs to go, and I think it is slowly, but it
Hmm.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, it should go. We therapists, we know how resourceful these tools and techniques are. We visit each other. I take help of my colleagues when I need to decide something. Out of 4 5 options I have, if I want to decide one of them, and I do take a session with my colleagues. They do come and help us out. And we also, we all have such a big association. We discuss cases with each other, isn't it? And help each other as
Yeah,
well. We are
yeah.
so open.
And there's this constant sharing of knowledge, and I think that's something really wonderful because uh, there's no, by and large, there's no ego per se. We're all open to the idea of learning, constantly learning and sharing, and I think that's something really nice about uh, a lot of the people that we are associated with. So. Uh, how do you, I mean, going forward, like, is there something that you have in mind? Is there something you're still seeking? Is there another modality that you're learning? What's for you? What are the steps ahead for you? Like, where do you see yourself, moving ahead?
Mm. So currently, for myself, I am not seeking anything. In January, February, March, I went for a 2 months shamatha meditation. It was again a silence retreat, 2 months. And after that, I had come to a conclusion that this is what I'm going to do. So they again and again remind us, Keshala, the teacher, they remind us that there should be just one point of concentration. The Buddhists, the Tibetan Buddhists, they should just choose. They take a lot of time to select one point of concentration, focus during meditation. And they say you can take years to find that out, but once you have got it, you just focus on it and continue practicing on it till the end of your life. So I got my that focus of meditation. I got that right after that shamatha. I had decided that this is what I'm going to focus on. So no seeking now. I have no questions. Yes, I want means of living flowing in. I want that, yes. But I and seeking is not there. But yes, I get new people to meet. Sangha, I like a lot. I like clubbing with my tribe. Here we and I can talk. I love this kind of space. I think that's the only thing in my life I I like now, right now. I want to have people around who can do satsang, because I am not a hermit kind of a person. I have realized I want to socialize, but socialize in a quality manner, something which adds value to my personality, not that something which wastes, which is a like wastage of a human life. The high frequency talk.
Yes, you're not, in short, to simply put it, there can be certain places where, your energy can get drained. Certain people drain you of energy, not for any other reason. It's just like you rightly said, that just that, everyone is on a different frequency. Everyone's path and phase is different in life, and you're at a good place mentally and within, and you just want to be surrounded by people who are on a similar frequency, similar wavelength. And so how is life there where Almora, where you staying? How is it? I mean, you said it's beautiful, it's heaven and earth. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
I wish you. I know maybe you could share some photographs with me, and I'll share it with the viewers of the view from your balcony,
Sure.
maybe, or from your place where you stay, or
Yeah.
you know. And is there any other strong energy point where you stay, nearby?
Mm,
Anything that is so anything that has been kind of mystical or something out of the ordinary that's happened with you in where you stay
mm.
in this past couple of
Kasar,
years?
yeah. Kasar Devi Temple, it has been spoken a lot by other podcasters as well, because so many people, since COVID and vlogging, started, it became a fashion. So people have started speaking a lot about Kasar Devi and the energies here. So they say, and there's a big board also that NASA has suggested there are three places which hold Van Allen belt, something like that. But I couldn't find any such papers online, any such declaration. I couldn't find, and I don't believe when something is not published. But
Sorry.
yes, there is an energy which I can feel when somebody sits there and meditate in the temple. And I would like to correct on that my friend, when she came here, she realized that it's the merger of heaven and earth, like a cusp. Mm. And some people say that because Swami Vivekanand ji has come here, meditated at so many spots, that's how the energy has come. But I believe that he chose this place because of the energy itself. And this place has invited so many masters and Gurudevas, even Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore has stayed there. Then the Tibetan Book of Dead, Bardo Thodol, it was translated into English in this very place. And so many people have stayed here during their 50s, 60s. There are some samadhis also in this area. I could feel when I came here for first 4 years, I used to just sit, observe the sky, do nothing. I had planned to come here and write a book on spirituality, but all I did was just staring at the sky every day with my cup of tea, and the sky looked beautiful, and just I wanted to just be. There were many other mystical experiences as well, but I am going to keep that with myself because my guru says that we shouldn't speak about our mystical experiences, otherwise people would anticipate that and it can be an hindrance in their own sadhana.
Yeah, yeah. Certain things I think are what one experiences as so personal and sacred. Uh, I don't think many would really understand the, the sacredness and the depth of what one has seen and what it means for you. So I hear
Yeah,
you and respect for that. Uh, but thank you. I mean, thank you for sharing all of this information. Thank you for joining in today. And we'll definitely reconnect again and do another small podcast again soon and share our
like,
experiences, share your journey. I think that's very inspiring what you're doing. But I think a lot of us, in life really would love to do this. And of course, we all have we're born in the place we're born in society. Along the way, we've built houses, we've got cars, we've got EMIs to pay. But I think we are understanding the power of minimalism, and realizing the importance of not burning out uh, by
Mm-hmm.
taking on so much. Living simply, I think, will be a great sort of guidance for times to come. I don't know how much of it will really work. That's for the future to decide. But I think a lot of people are getting attracted to being minimalist and being simple. We hear so much of so many places in in the West, especially in the US, where they love the idea of living off the grid. And
Yes.
maybe I don't know, maybe if that's going to be something that would be practiced consciously by the newer generations in India. So time will tell, but great talking to you, and thank you so much for taking out time, and thank you for all the wisdom that you shared and joining in with us today at Soul Connect. Uh, I just wanted to share something about Soul Connect. Would you like to, we spoke about Soul Connect. So if you could, if you want to give a shout out, or would you like to talk about what we do with Soul Connect?
You want me to give them a bridge of connection between the viewers and me?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So I'll share with you, and Ravi will post somewhere with the video
Yeah,
there. But yes, I want to say something now about Ravi. He has been our seniors, and I've been admiring him since a long time now, 5, 6 years. I was
that's
following
nice of
him
you.
in Facebook,
Yeah,
and I have always noticed that he's inviting new people in his circle, making them speak. So there is not judgmental space he provides. I have seen and always noticed for people to speak there, a platform. And also, I learned recently that he has also created a tangible space. Would you like to tell about this space? I would like to learn about that.
yeah. So this is a physical space. I mean, where people can come. We are where one can, I have these one-on-one sessions, but there are other facilitators who wish to use this, or the therapists who wish to use this place. We encourage that. Uh, we really encourage. The whole idea is to build on becoming more aware about mental health. Sorry, and again, like we spoke, breaking taboos about seeking help. It is okay to
Mm,
seek help. It's a good idea to seek help. Seeking help is not weakness. We want to gain back our strength, our peak inner, where we were internally, and this space is just that. So we're going to have many support group meetings with many multiple sort of topics. It's almost like a take, or like something what the human library is about. So something like that, but with more interactive sessions. So Soul Connect is
mm,
just that. I mean, a place where one can just be. We have one-on-one sessions, and much more. So and this is another way. I mean, we want to reach out. We want to meet and talk to people in the virtual space who maybe not who are not based in Pune, but
yeah,
through your work, we want to make it even more give more awareness that it's okay, and these are not something that are typically what people get put off by the mumbo jumbo. No, it's not that. There is a
mm,
base to it. There's a lot of science, there's studies, and it's safe to be in this space, and there are visible results. So,
yeah,
one should definitely pursue it. If someone's going through a particular phase in life, reach out. Um, I understand that there have been, people who have taken others for a ride, or, abused their, you know, kind of position as facilitators, but not all are the same. We are we've noticed that, people tell us, and we of course we put ourselves down. We know we live by the karmic rule. So,
Hmm.
we are very clear that, what we do is going to come back. So, and
Yeah.
that's what draws me to you also, because I know you live with the same code of ethics and rules. So it's really good. I mean, that we connected, and thank you once again. And
Thank you so much. And you didn't let me finish that. I love your drum circle,
yeah,
and it has inspired me to start my own drum circle
oh,
here.
wonderful,
Yeah, we gathered in a club here, and there was somebody, I've connected with people who work from that heart space with love. And he allowed us to sit in his cafe and play the drums. And I have two, three instruments with me, which I carry along with me.
nice. I can just visualize that. It sounds so good. So more power to you,
And
more power to your work, and wishing you
thank you
all
so
the very
much.
best for your intent,
Thank
for
you.
the change that you seek in your life and in the others that come to you. I will be sharing your Insta link and your email so people can reach out to you. Whoever
Yeah.
feels called
Thank
out and they resonated with what we spoke today. And well, here's me signing off from Soul Connect. Thank you, friends, and thanks again,
thank
Avani.
you. Thank you and love to all your viewers.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching this. If this resonated strongly with you, please do like, share, and subscribe. And send this to someone who you feel will also benefit from this. Stay tuned. We'll be posting more videos on inner child healing, past life regression, neuro linguistic programming. We'll also be addressing uh, ways of breaking taboos that are surrounding therapy in India. Please write in whatever your thoughts, queries, clarifications you need in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you.